Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another segment of Pearl's Politics. That's right. But the good news is that we are not going to hold you long. Let me go ahead, excuse me, and get the tweet out that we are live on some other platforms here. Yeah, and trying to see what's going on here. Okay, so while I am multitasking, let me get in my sidekick, he's the only one with me tonight, and that's another reason why we won't be that long, which is good for most of you guys. Definitely good for me. All right, the heartbeat of the South. Every beat of my heart loves politics just like his mom. My son, Tim Harrington. Hey, Tim,
Hey, Mom, how's everybody doing?
how's it going?
All right.
All right, then. Well, I tell you, I am so tired. I'm going to share a little bit about my day. As you know, we talked about paranormal effects happening on the leap day, which is today, February 29th, celebrates our leap year, and they come every 4 years. But rumor has it in the paranormal world that what happens is that there are strange things that can occur. Well, I'll tell you, I really had a strange occurrence. I can't believe it. It was, I had a doctor's appointment, right? Right, okay. And it's way out there at the Baptist place where they do most of the tests for the city, what have you. And I thought I knew where I was going, but I didn't. Okay. And the traffic, I hate morning appointments. I usually try to get my appointments around 10 o'clock after
Yeah.
all the school and work people out of the way. But I couldn't get it. It had to be early, 9:30, which meant I had to be there at 9, which meant I had to leave out the house by 8 o'clock, which I did. However, I did get lost. Okay, so anyway, I had an adventurous roundabout drive for about 45 minutes trying to find somewhere to park and my GPS had the location like a whole block of a whole building. I'm not knowing where that building is. And then I saw the garage that says outpatient parking. I park in there, find out. When I get to the place where they do the diagnosis test in that building, I'm in the wrong building. I'm supposed to be in the next building. But the good thing is that they did call a shuttle, Baptist a van shuttle, to come and
Mhm.
drive me over to the next building. So that helped. Because Lord knows I couldn't walk. And I already walked from the parking garage through the
Yeah.
median out to the building. Anyhow, I get this test, and it's my hand, and they electrocuted it, electrified my hand and my arm, both of them, y'all. I'll tell you, that electricity was not any fun at all. Uh, this hand I already had carpal tunnel surgery on, so I didn't feel any pain from the electric shock, right? But this is the one I'm having trouble with, and I tell you, it really hurt. It hurt a lot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was really exaggerating. It was long too. It was about an hour and a half of them doing those tests. But the good news is uh, the technician had to do that. He did like the first hour, and then the doctor came in and did like the 30-minute one where he had to do like I guess it's like your acupuncture needles,
Yeah.
except these hurt. They were long. On this hand and arm, and he was getting ready to do this, and I was like, don't do this one. This was all right. He said, okay, well, we don't have to do that. But he turned out to be uh, my doctor that I already knew, that happened to be my epilepsy doctor, my neurologist. So I felt very comfortable, and I was glad that it was him. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Then, so I pushed myself on to go to um, the UPS because I needed to mail a certified letter. By the way, the UPS packing stores,
Yeah.
boxing stores, they got mail. They handle mail. You can drop off mail, and they got a mailbox in there. You can drop off mail, and They can do certified letters. They do everything the post office does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so that helps because I hate standing in line at post offices and things like that. Okay, let me get this brought up on Facebook. Let me know you're live. Yeah, I didn't send it. And so that went well. So I pushed myself on to go to the grocery store because I needed to pick. I went in there just to get some cheese and one other item, but I picked up a lettuce and a fruit bowl for like $5. A big fruit bowl had watermelon, honeydew melon, and cantaloupe in it. And I was like, oh God, that's be great because I did not eat before I left that day, no, this morning. So, but this poor Caucasian man, fell out in the store right down a few feet from me. And I was like, "Oh no, this is a paranormal event." I knew I was gonna see something happen that was not gonna be that was out of sorts, so to speak,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he was just laying there, and cause people went over to see, and they was asking him if he could get up, and he was saying, "No, he just needs to lay there for a minute." But I didn't stick around to see how he was and how everything turned out because I said whatever it was on that end of the store that knocked him out or made him fall out, I don't want to fall to move himself down here on me because I was already pushing myself as far as I could go anyway,
Yeah.
having not had any breakfast and only had taken my medication and coffee, right?
Right.
So I was afraid about for myself. And I was like, I was gonna go and get some cheaper cheese way on the other side of the store. I said, I'm just gonna get this cheese right here at this deli, which cost me
Yeah.
probably about $2 more. But something just told me you need to get out of here and move on, right?
Yeah.
I did not want the negative vibe coming in on me, but I hope and sincerely that older gentleman was okay.
I'm sure he was.
Ooh, I was like, oh, but God, for God, there go me,
Yeah.
because see, Tim, no, he can tell you my mama has fallen out before too,
Yeah.
and I definitely didn't want to go through that. So, having told you what's going on with me all day, Tim, how has your day been? I hope better than mama's.
Well, pretty much been pretty good. Just easy going. It's an easy going day today.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna sleep like a log tonight.
I know.
My buddy is so tired, and yeah. So anyhow, let's go on to politics. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about two things only, since we're not gonna hold you guys but 30 minutes. On the first thing that I want to talk about, well, of course, we don't have anybody that's live in the comment column, but I will post how many viewers that we currently have watching. We have been live for 9 minutes and 22 seconds, and we have 90 of you that's watching with us. Okay, thank you all so. Oh, now you're up to 104. Thank you so much. Go and share some more. So, what I want to talk about start off is okay. Netanyahu is gone. The psycho has really gone psycho. There were thousands, well, hundreds of the poor Palestinian refugees that were waiting for the aid trucks to come, and it was a lot of them. True enough. Oh, well, hello, James. How are you? I hope you're feeling well. I had just discussed you in the green room before the show started. And I was telling Tim that I was going to have to check on you tomorrow because I was definitely hoping that you were not sick or ill. So hopefully we'll chat um, tomorrow because I'm not chatting or texting with anybody tonight. I'm worn out. It was just enough to do the show. All right. Now we're up to 109 of you. Thank you so much for sharing the rest of it. James, go ahead and share. We're at 109 in the watching us. Now we're up to 116. Thank you. So Netanyahu's gone crazy. He had the soldiers, y'all, and I know they had to ask the generals and Netanyahu whether or not to fire on this crowd of people. I'm talking about hundreds of people that were just simply waiting for food for the aid trucks to come in. Because remember now, this was in Gaza City, which is northern Gaza. These people had not been, they've been scrambling for food for 140 days. Finally, some trucks come in. So who wouldn't go and rush around, and stand around the truck trying to wait and make sure they get some for their families, trying to feed their children.
Right.
He had them to fire into the crowd. 112 dead and 700 injured, shot. Just the army uh, just shot into them, into the crowd randomly, just shooting, not care who, just shooting them like they were targets, like they were
Yeah.
target practice.
Yeah.
And so he has not given an official statement on it. The only statement that he gave to the press was um, that they are looking into it, but it appears that the soldiers fired on the IDF soldiers fired into the crowd because they feared for their lives because there were so many people. How are you gonna fear for your life and you in a tank, right? You got the
Yeah.
guns, you shooting from tanks, you're not on the ground. So that was unjustified. So now they say that the United Security Council is supposed to be meeting on this shooting because this about the age shooting is what they're calling it, right? But you know what? I'm just up. I'm fed up with the Security Council meeting, the United Nations meeting, the ILCF, International Court of Justice meeting. All they've been doing is meeting, 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 and nobody's doing, excuse my French, a damn thing. And y'all know I don't curse. But that's
Mm-hmm.
just how angry I am with this kind of situation. Because what if it was the United States? Y'all wouldn't just be laid back then. Y'all to be wanting some help over here too. If the
Right.
whole international world was turning your back on us, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, we're not all that built up on defense. Don't get that twisted. Thinking, oh no, that nobody can beat us. Don't get it twisted at all because Russia and Putin, I heard some of his speech today, like I heard some of Netanyhu's speech today. Russia said, no, no, no. They have really, really ramped up and increased all of his weapons and stuff like that. In other words, he was like, don't get it twisted. He said that, talking about the Western enemies, or he didn't use the word enemies. I've forgotten what word he said, but what he was referring to was the United States and any of its allies, that when they tried to come over there before, he said they found out what happened. And he said, and this would be 10 times worse. In other words, he was saying, like, don't even start playing with me like you playing with the Palestinians, in other words, right? And on top of that, he he met with the Hamas leaders in Moscow today, and yesterday too. They were trying to work out um, an agreement, and they couldn't come to a deal. And if the Hamas was going to come to a deal with anybody, it would have been Russia, you know. But the reason why they can't come to a deal with Netanyahu and Israel and the United States is because Netanyahu is still set in his ways, gone psychotic, doing stuff crazy, killing people on top of it. He's killing an average of 500 people a day,
Yeah.
not to mention the ones that he's already done. And I'm
Yeah.
just fed up with it, and I'm ready for somebody to just
Well,
drop something on him, you
yeah.
know?
Let me give you a theory about this. Something that was said by somebody the other day,
Hmm.
which made me think about Netanyahu. It's written that we will have three. Uh, what would you call them?
Antichrist.
Antichrist,
Mm-hmm.
Napoleon being one,
Mm-hmm.
um, Hitler being the second one,
Mm-hmm.
and
Here's
now
the third.
Netanyahu may carry the mark of the beast.
Well, I figure that I already know that, but he's like Napoleon and Hitler reincarnated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And and that's what he said today. Basically, I'm not quoting him per se. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
But what I heard in his speech that he gave, because he gave an address to his nation today too. And what I'm paraphrasing what he said was like no one and nobody is gonna stop him from this war. And that's what it's been saying the whole time. So why is it that the UN, United Security Nations, or the United Nations, and the International Court of Justice think that they can continue to try to negotiate with this man? What are they waiting for? And on top of that, hasn't it been 30 days? I think that 30 days was
Yeah.
up on the 26th when Israel was supposed to turn their report in to the International Court of Justice. And he hasn't done it. He has violated all six of the suggestions and recommendations that they asked him not to do. And what does he do? He does 10 times, 100 times more than what they asked him not to do. All right. Uh,
Yeah, take a breather.
I mean, y'all can just see how angry I am. All I can say for Netanyahu is this: you better be glad that I am not the president of the United States of America. You got the right one, buddy, when you got Biden. Now, having said that, some of Netanyahu's far right winged conservative cabinet members seem to think that they will be really in good shape too when Donald Trump takes office. And that made me think. And this is I'm segueing into Donald Trump. That made me think. All right, I know that Donald was the one that did rule that Jerusalem was the capital of Israel, the state. But he hasn't done that much after that, right? He didn't do anything outside of that was just. I mean, wasn't nothing else he could do really. I,
Right,
I think he
right,
just wanted to just get a little recognition when
right.
he did that. Can I say? But what I do say is this: is to Donald. He won the primary in Michigan and South Carolina, these swing states.
Yeah.
He's won the Republican side of it on the Republican primaries. But when it comes to general election, I'm gonna tell Donald this. Donald, look, general election time, you better change your speech. If you're gonna be 100% for Israel, you're gonna lose the independence. I'm telling you that right now. You're gonna lose the independence. Biden has lost Democrats and independents. All right. And I'm telling y'all something else. I'm talking to anybody that want to get this message back to Donald J. Trump. You cannot win an election without African Americans, and African Americans is not going to vote for you if you 100% for the persecution of another culture and another race under oppression who has been under oppression for 75 years by a colonized apartheid state. You're not going to get the vote of the African Americans. You'll get some, but you won't get the good support that you got before 4 years ago. Tim,
Well,
come on in.
uh, I would have to disagree with you on that one, on
All
that
right,
point.
come on. I
Um,
like disagreements because it's always somebody else's viewpoint might be better. At least it make me think about it. Go ahead.
well, by us being under Biden's leadership, we have suffered so much in so many different ways at every turn. By the time of the elections, some things we are willing to let slide. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I understand um, the compassion and empathy that goes into that with Israel. But I believe if given a choice and our people had to make a choice, I think that Donald Trump will still get the vote. It's
Well,
not a
I
pretty
agree.
sight. It's not a
I
pretty.
agree.
It's not pretty. But we are so in demand
Mm-hmm.
of that A1 leadership that somebody was going to have to be casualty of war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think that's where the people at, and the majority of Americans. Let me put it that way, because it's not all of them. It's not all Americans.
Right.
It's just that one thing they say about us Americans, we're spoiled. So
But
we want what
definitely.
we want when we want it. We don't
Hmm.
care about nobody else's needs when it comes to
Right.
ours. And
Right.
that's where we are as a nation right now.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, like George H. Bush say, well, that's one thing about my Georgia Porgy,
Yeah.
my Republican president. He would not let you catch him up in no kind of
No.
debate.
Nah, he was too slick
No,
with
he
that.
not to the right, not to the left. You weren't gonna trip him up. All he's gonna say was, "Well," and that's where I am right now because IT International Court of Justice, as far as I'm concerned, is a lot is a joke. The Security United Security Council, as far as I'm concerned, is a joke. The United Nations, as far as I'm concerned, is a joke. Qatar and the Arab nation, as far as I'm concerned, is a joke. All of these nations and international organizations and blah 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 blah
Yeah.
lineup of them
And and
are
and
not
you
doing nothing but talking. They're not walking.
yeah, and that's what Nuntayu knows. He
He
knows it's just
knows that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
he
mean, you
knows.
giving the devil just what he wants,
Yeah, yeah.
and I still can't believe to this day, in 2000 and 2,000 years and 200, what is 2,024
24.
years that y'all did not have, that this whole world did not have some kind of action in place, particularly after Hitler, that they didn't have some kind of law in place that would have prevented a slaughter, massacre, and another genocide coming and happening. Because this is all it is. It's a genocide. And
Yeah,
the international court ruling is going to be yes, that Israel have committed genocide. And as a result of this, Israel has put Netanyahu in his psychotic war cabinet, has destroyed the name of the Jews and of the Hebrews in Israel, because you got people that's not going to like the Jews anymore simply because of this. Okay, because of what he's doing, and all Jews do not agree with what he's doing. But do you think they're gonna try to take time to figure out and ask a questionnaire? Well, did you agree with what Netanyahu did last year or 2 years ago? They're not gonna ask people that. They're just gonna make a judgment on these people, on the Jews now, and on Israel now, which is gonna be negative. Which he's already done a good job of getting started because they people Jews are being attacked in different states over here,
yeah,
random attacks, on Jews, uh, and just spitting and shootings. Remember, too, it was like just before Christmas, I think it was, two Jewish young boys got shot, and one of them, you know, um, died and one survived. Somebody off the street just walked up and shot them because they were Jewish.
yeah,
So this is the kind of stuff that Netanyahu is stirring up, has stirred up. You know,
yeah,
uh, uh, I'm not the kind of person that would go and do something like that. But you got tens and tens and tens of thousands that will.
yeah,
So he's caused so much division.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. And the thing about these committees and these boards, um, it looks good on paper.
Yeah,
They know it, and that's why they're going through the process of the paperwork part.
yeah.
But he actually knows um, that
He
he
knew it
won't
wasn't
be
anything in
faced.
place. Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
won't
knew
be
it wasn't
faced
anything
with
in
any
place.
resistance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he knew that.
Um,
And he's taking great advantage of it, and he's still going and getting worse and worse.
yeah. Because one thing about it, you say nothing was in place. I have to agree with you because they didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
They didn't see this coming from this angle, a million miles away.
And
Nobody
I'll
saw
take
it.
it a step further. I really think Netanyahu set the whole thing up because the Israelites that's over there were angry at him. A lot of the Israel citizens are angry at him because they're claiming that he did not protect them because he literally and specifically had the army moved on that Saturday to a different location within the country. He had them removed.
Who
He
is
was
this?
the one. Nantayu,
Oh,
he was doing
yeah,
the regular army
yeah,
patrol that was patrolling that border. He specifically had ordered them to move away. And on that Saturday, that left that whole area vulnerable. And a lot of the Jewish citizens over there have accused him of this sabotage of him. A lot of they're trying to vote him out over there, but they can't do anything about it.
yeah,
They can't get him out. So, a lot of them want him out, but they can't do anything about it. But I am in agreement. I really think that he is the one that set the whole thing up in the first place so that he wouldn't have to go to jail because he was about to be charged for some crimes, high crimes, and he was going to be ousted and criminalized and put in jail. He didn't want that
yeah,
to happen. So I think he concocted up this whole thing in cahoots with probably a very small fraction of Hamas, and he probably lied to them and told them that, you know, uh, he'd have to take a little reaction, a little retaliation. But now they done found out, see that he lied. He didn't do a little. He's doing maximum retaliation.
yeah.
But I really think that he was in cahoots and he was the one to plan the whole thing to save his own butt. That's what
I
I
would agree.
believe.
I would agree with that.
Because why else, out of no other times that would you have your patrol, your border patrol move to another part of the city on this
Yeah,
particular day, on a day of festival when everybody relaxed, carefree, know they safe,
yeah,
supposedly be safe, you know. So you pick this day to have your army moved from the border, from guarding the border to another part of the city. Nantayu set that up. And Biden is too stupid to have asked him all about that. He should have been interrogating uh, Netanyahu when it happened on the day it happened, asking him, interrogate him as to why did you move the army? You know, give me some solid reason. Why did you move the army? You ain't never moved them before. Why did you move them on this day?
well, I can agree with you on that. I feel that you have some people that strive to be the best or good, and you have those villains that are evil and bad. And I think that he just chose a long time ago that he was going to be the worst villain out of them all. And thus far, he's proven that because I think he may have Hitler beat at this
He got
point.
Hitler back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
has
he goes down in the history books. See, a lot of people don't mind going down in history as the baddest villain in the history books.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, because you
And
take
that's
a man with nothing to lose and everything to gain,
yeah.
and I show you a villain
Well, he didn't have nothing to gain.
with
You see what I'm
everything to
saying?
lose.
The only thing he's gaining is a personal vendetta that he is using his war cabinet and his army to do for him.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that he is gaining.
yeah,
Personal satisfaction. This is a personal grudge that he has and has had for 25 years because he expanded the settlement. There are over 700,000 illegal settlers that have stolen Palestinian land over this 25-year period that he has been in there,
yeah,
right? So he started this plan from the very beginning, but he had not had an opportunity to put any kind of plan in action because this is the first time in the history of the United States, definitely within the last 25 years that he's been in there, that the United States has had a weak butt president ever. And so this he saw his move. He saw his opportunity to do his plan that he had been wanting to do for ever since he had gotten in there as prime minister. And not only that, I told you that when he got in, I saw some old footage of him campaigning when he was campaigning against the previous prime minister. He was up on a platform just like Hitler, talking just like Hitler, acting like Hitler. And, and not only that, it was suspicion and rumored within the Israel state and government and its citizens that he actually had the previous prime minister assassinated because the prime minister was assassinated. He was killed. That's how Netanyahu got in there. And see, the Jews don't want to hear this. The ones that's sticking with Netanyahu, they don't want to hear the truth about him. And this is why, and so he has a small following over there, you see. He has a small following, and he's got a small following, I suppose, worldwide of, of the Jewish people. Because why? All of what he did benefited them. Look at all the free land they got, you know, and and living good, living the life,
Yeah.
controlling other folks. It benefited them.
Yeah, it's
But
very
he
unfortunate.
but he comes along and carries out a genocide worse than the genocide that Hitler did. Now they're gonna say, well, no, it's not worse because Hitler killed 3 million Jews. But he didn't. If you give, but look how many years that took. Talking about a period of to what, about 8, 10 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you give then tie you 8 to 10 years to keep doing like he doing now, he will. It won't be nobody left in Palestine. It won't be a single Palestinians left, and then he'll be on the Arabs then.
Yeah.
And by that time, he will have killed not 3 million Palestinians and an additional 3 million Arabs. So I mean, give him 10 or 12 years to keep doing what he's doing and see. All
Yeah.
right, woo.
Glad you got that off your
No
chest.
commercial tonight, but I had to get that off because I plan on sleeping good tonight. I had to get that off my chest. Woo, like King Kong. Woo. Ah. All I can say, come on, baby. My dog said, look, my baby dog say, yeah, she agree with me 100%. Come on, get mama five. Come on, get mama five. Give me five. Give me five. Give me five. Show them you look. That Tim.
Hey, precious.
Give me five. Give me five. There she go. Give me five. They can't see you. They can't see you. Give me five. Give me five. Come on. You agree? Don't you agree with mama? What do you
Mhm.
think about Ned taught you? Is he a dummy? Is he a mean man? Is he an evil man? Give mommy five. Yeah, yeah. Give mommy five up here. He evil. She like, what the heck are you talking about? Come on, you don't agree with me. So move away. Ah, you're not my friend. All right, Tim, closing remarks.
Well, we were brief, but we were to the point. So, hey,
Damn it.
can't wait to do it again.
I know that's right. Look, you guys. Free thought is a philosophy and not a policy. Don't ever let anybody brainwash you into thinking that the way they think when it's wrong. Look, I don't care even care whether you had home training and raised right or not. You still been around society enough to know right from wrong, right? And this is just plain and simple what we see going on in wrong in our world today. So don't let anybody brainwash you into agreeing with what they're doing when they're doing wrong. Free thought is a philosophy. Keep your free thoughts. Keep your free voice. That's the only way you're gonna do it. That's the only way you're gonna keep your free voice is by releasing your free thoughts. They can't put a policy on what you think, not like Netanyahu, because Netanyahu does. The Palestinians can't even think for themselves, but they are the ones that has the highest educational knowledge and level and scores in that region. Their education, uh, uh, reading performance level, reading, writing, comprehension is 97.3%. Netanyahu and the Israel state of Israel and its citizens, theirs is 91.2. So you got a inferior state that's trying to, well, not trying to, but that is destroying the culture and the universities and heritage of another culture that is smarter than they are, that are more contributory than they are to the arts, to the sciences, and things like that. So, yeah, free thought is a philosophy, not a policy. And the Palestinians stand up for their own philosophy, their freedom, and their land. All they want is their land back and freedom. That's not too much to ask for in 2,000 years and 24 years. 2,024 years. That's not too much to ask for. And by the way, well, speaking of freedom, I heard this man say today he was a survivor from the shooting that happened this morning where 700 was shot, injured 112, maybe more now, died, shot dead, died right there at the scene of the aid trucks, trying to get food, shot dead by the IDF. He said, if this is the way it's gonna be when we go to get some help, some food, try to get food from the aid trucks when they come. If we got to be shot and got to be killed, then just don't send the trucks. Now that's desperation. They'd rather die of starvation than to get shot dead on the spot trying to get some food. Now that just goes to show you what kind of maniac mental state of mind this person, this I don't even know if he's human, Netanyahu is doing. That's the kind of state of mind he has. You shoot people just for them trying to get
Yeah.
food?
Don't worry yourself too much though.
No, no, no. I have to get it out.
All
That's
right.
what happens. That's the reason why that's the problem now. That's the reason why that's the reason why this is happening now because people been keeping stuff shut up inside. You don't can't keep that stuff shut up inside. If enough people would voice their opinion like me, somebody would definitely put a stop to it. And it wouldn't take no meeting. It wouldn't take no UN Security Council meeting. It wouldn't take no ITC justice meeting. You can only push people so far. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I understand it. It's a sad situation.
It's a
But
disgusting situation. It's sad,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, it's
but
ugly. I
it's
don't
just
care how you look
disgusting.
at it. It's ugly.
Somebody gonna stop him. Somebody gonna
Yeah.
stop him. I don't know who. I don't know when. But I know if somebody don't, if you let him keep going, he will have killed more than 3 million people, and that'll be after he killed all of the Palestinians and moves himself on over to the Arab nation in Syria and and in Iran. See, and in Lebanon, and in Yemen. Just let him keep going and see what he does. All right then.
All
Whew,
right.
I'm gonna get me a sandwich. And then I'm gonna have myself a couple of chocolates. I bought myself a box of Russell Stover chocolates. I like to treat myself to chocolates like at least twice a year. And so I am going to have a very good time getting back into my series tonight. But I'm so glad that I had this opportunity to share how I feel, and I hope that somebody pass it along over there to the nut. I'm gonna start calling him the nut. N. His name start with an N. I'm gonna start calling him the nut. Pass
Mm,
it on to the nut. Tell him what the pearl said. Uh-huh. Like it's gonna make a difference. No, if he's not gonna listen to the ICC, International Court of Justice, ICJ, he's not gonna listen to me. All right, that's our time. We love y'all. No commercial tonight. We went straight through.
yeah.
Thank you for the 97. We had and a little after 30 minutes, we had 162 of you. We still got 97 that stuck with us all the way through, hearing me rant. Thanks for hearing my rant. I feel so much better. We love y'all. That's our time.
Good
We'll see you
night.
tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. The Emily Pearl Show, live and fun. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.